Canada's wilderness has largely recovered from the acid rain fears of the 1980s. At its worst, 150,000 lakes were damaged, over 15,000 declared dead. The byproduct of sulfur dioxide emissions spewing unchecked from coal plants. And despite the coal industry lobbying against change, then Prime Minister Brian Mulroney recognized urgent action was needed.
Coal companies hated it, the electricity generators hated it, but we had the solutions. We made them implement them, and the sky did not fall.
Mulroney was unsuccessful at getting U.S. President Ronald Reagan to act, so he changed tactics when George Bush became president.
Brian Mulroney was the greenest prime minister in the history of the country, and he was a visionary, way ahead of his time.
He called it the clean hands approach. Canada, he told Bush, was going to take the first step and cut emissions.
So that when he was negotiating with the Americans, it wasn't like, you should do something. It's like, look, you should do what we're doing. And that's a much more convincing position to take as a leader than sort of calling for other people to do something that you haven't done yourself.
When Bush died in 2018, Mulroney delivered the eulogy and proudly spoke of that deal signed in 1991.
Acid rain was the #1 environmental challenge for Canadians, and now it doesn't exist, because the acid rain treaty that I signed with George Bush.
Climate change is the biggest environmental concern today. Perhaps politicians could take a page out of Mulroney's playbook.
Here's an example for the world of what we can do if we apply our mind to it in terms of dealing with environmental issues.
Mulroney understood that better than most. Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.